Hello everyone, my name is Qanza Nurul Jannah. I am a Magister student of Environmental Engineering at the University of Indonesia. First, I would like to thank to all committees in International Conference on Environmental and Energy Sustainabilities, or ICEES 2021. Now, I would like to share my paper is about Escherichia coli contamination of groundwater in Metro City Lampung. This is the outline. So first is introduction. So the groundwater is the main water source of domestic water, including drinking water in developing countries like Indonesia. However, this is susceptible to fecal contamination. And E. coli is an indicator of this fecal contamination that acceptable by WHO. That's important because the consumption of groundwater contaminated by E. coli increases the risk of diarrhea disease. Metro City in Lampung Province, Indonesia, is heavily dependent on groundwater as the main water source of cooking, bathing, washing, and drinking. Over 90% of the people in Metro City use duct wells and boreholes for these domestic needs, but the safety of this water has never been confirmed. So the purpose of this research is to assess E. coli contamination in Metro City's groundwater. So this is a research method. The study area is in 5 sub-districts in Metro City Lampung, Indonesia. This location was selected due to their high population density area, high poverty levels, high groundwater use rate, and limited pipe water service. The number of the sample is total is 253, and the water sample was taken from the kitchen tap, and and if there is no kitchen tap, we take it from bathroom tap, indoor tap, outdoor tap, hand pump, or well bucket. And the water sample was put into a water bag and immediately cooled and placed in a cooler bag, then transferred to the laboratory and analyzed on the same day within 6 hours. For the quality control, we take sample duplicates and make a field blank. So for the sample analysis, we use choline 18 by IDEX. So this reagent was added into the sample and put into quantity tray. Then quantity tray is sealed in quantity tray sealer and incubated for 18 to 22 hours at 35 degrees Celsius. For the result, if there is a yellow wells, that is indicate the total coliform. Yellow wells with fluorescence, if we see under the UV lamp, indicate the E. coli. Then we count positive wells and refer to MPN table. For the quality control, we make a lab blank. For the result and discussion, this is the E. coli contamination based on the type of well in Metro City. E. coli was detected in 181 out of 253 water samples at different concentration. Based on this graph, unprotected wells were more contaminated than borehole and protected wells. The present risk of E. coli contamination in metro cities. So in metro cities, it's only 28% was classified as a low risk, and 70% as moderate risk, 18% as high risk, and 36% show in a very high risk. And from that graph, the borehole had the lowest risk of contamination of E. coli with a percentage of 54%, while unprotected well had the highest risk with 46% of sample that is classified in a very high risk. So the E. coli was present in 72% of water source, with 36 classified as a very high risk. So the water source in the city need to be treated before consumption, example by boiling. And from the result, we see that borehole is less contaminated than uh, unprotected well. It may be because first the depth of well, because borehole is more deeper than other well. The microbial contaminant originating from the surface, such as runoff of fecal material, is getting lost at the depth of 30 meters due to filtration by rock. And the second is how to withdraw the water. Usually, unprotected well use rope and bucket to withdraw water. And this rope and bucket can be contaminated with dust and animal and can contaminate the water. And the last is well infrastructure. Unprotected well usually didn't have well lining, well head, well platform, and there is no cover. So it makes easy to animal waste to enter, or the bacteria carried by the wind, or there is less protection well from runoff during the rain. And the uh, well without platform, or there is a crack in the platform, uh, it is can cause the direct entrance of contamination through the unsaturated zone and polluting the groundwater. And also, if the well is there's no lining, that contaminated water can flow underground in a well through the site. So the good well infrastructure would be less susceptible to contaminant. So this is the last conclusion. So the level of E. coli contamination in metro city is relatively high, and 72% of water source are polluted, where 36% is in very high risk. An unprotected well is more contaminated than a borehole and protected well, and this is associated with the poor infrastructure of these unprotected wells. So this is urgent that unprotected well owners worldwide, including residents of Metro City, need to improve their well infrastructure for a cleaner water supply. I think that's all from me. Thank you.